Well, if I buy this house at an interest rate of 7, but I've paid 300,000 or 400,000 less for it, in the long run, I am in at a good place where I probably won't be upside down and I can afford the interest rate. If you get in really high with a interest rate that's adjustable, and it started out at 2.5 and it's up to 6%, and you bought a house that was way over market, you're going to be upside down. And if you can't buy low and you don't have millions of dollars in capital reserve, don't buy. And if
Oh, I
you're in a
know.
house that's paid off and you need some money, do a little refinance on your house or take out a line of credit that's secured against your house, but don't
Mhm.
sell your house. If your
Yeah.
house is paid for or has a very low mortgage, keep it. Even if you have, you want more bedrooms and you want more bathrooms and you want to live in a better neighborhood. I so understand that. And want to be in a great school district, but if you can't sustain it, don't do it. I'll tell you why people do it. It's the old generations, and shame on us.
Mhm.
The American dream was to own a house. Okay.
Mhm.
The American dream was to own a house. And over the course of the last 60 years, we have made people that rent feel badly and made people who rent feel like they are not as successful as people that have bought a house. Let's be clear. Unless you buy a house for cash, the bank owns your home and you are giving the bank interest.
Yeah,
So, yeah,
exactly.
if you're paying rent, you're giving a landlord rent and that's helping him pay his property tax and things on that. But it's an individual, maybe you're renting from a corporation. But when you own a home and you put 20% down on the price of the house, the rest of the house is owned by the bank. And for the first 10 years of your mortgage, unless you're able to make real big balloon payments without penalty, the bank is getting your income in interest. So stop thinking that you are in this great, wonderful place. The best way to own a home is if you can go in with 50% or more down, buy low, get an average interest rate, and keep that house for a long time to be able to go through all the ups and downs of the housing market. If you buy low in the place that you can live comfortably and you want to live there, the idea that we buy houses to buy and then fix up and sell like a business is why the housing market has so many problems. A lot of people do spec buying, especially in states like California, Washington, New York, Massachusetts, Florida, in some parts of Texas, and where the housing market goes up and down so volatilely, and that people go in when the market goes low and they buy, and then they wait for the market go up and they sell it. They're part of a Ponzi scheme in essence, a legitimate one. Don't get me wrong. It's not illegal, but it mimics like what the stock market does. The housing market is
Mhm.
run by a lot of people who have a lot of money and can fluctuate the market rate. That's what happens. So you want to buy low, you want to keep enough, you want to have enough capital to be able to fix it up. You don't want the bank to own more than you do. Those are the way you go into a house. And nobody in the other generations told anybody that. And I used to go, "Oh my goodness, what is going on?" People are, because the interest rate is low, um, people are buying houses without even being checked if they have the income. They didn't read the fine print, Joe. There were loans being written where in 3 years, principal got added and the interest rate went up by 2%. So
Mhm.
imagine you buy a house at 3% and the payment's 1,400. And so you shopped the payment instead of shopping what you could afford. So you go into this mortgage broker and you say, "I can afford 1,400." So they create this loan for you. You buy a house, you sign the paperwork. You don't read that in 3 years, the interest rate goes from 3% to 5%, and they're adding in $1,200 a month for principal. And all of a sudden, you've got a $3,200 mortgage payment and your house hasn't increased. And the whole thing was, Joe, that all these mortgage brokers said, oh, no problem. Your house will appreciate. And in 3 years, we'll just refinance your house. You can pull it out. You can get a good interest rate. And this little clause that says your interest rate's going to 5 and your principal of 1,200 is added, that'll be just taken care of. And in the meantime, it was a negative mortgage amortization. And anything, they gave you a $1,400 payment when it should have been $2,000. All of that's being added on to the end of your mortgage. Nobody knew. Nobody paid attention. So all of a sudden, the market crashed, the housing market, the Bernie Madoff mess of 2008 crashed. All of these things started crashing and people were into their houses. They had paid $245,000 and their house wasn't even worth $140,000. They had their mortgage upside down and they either abandoned their property or lived in it for free until the bank took it over. We did that to ourselves. We got greedy. The mortgage brokers were so excited to get all these commissions that they threw you in the barrel. People go into stuff without doing their homework. And I'm a person that believes you have to do your homework. Can you do this? If you can't, don't. I don't care if you're getting pressure from your parents and saying, what are you renting for? Why are you still renting? You're throwing away money. No,